How to make swirly snails. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees or gas mark 4. These are the ingredients and equipment you will need. You can look at the entire recipe card on the blog. Hi everyone! First, get your baking tray and grease it with some butter on tissue paper. Now that's done, put it to the side. With a big mixing bowl and a sieve, pour your flour into the bowl. Start sieving. Add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Continue sieving. Now add your butter. Using your fingers, mix the butter into the flour. Next, pour in the milk. With your hands, mix it all together until it looks like squashy dough. This gets quite messy. You might want to wash your hands now. Using a sieve, put some flour on the worktop. Take your dough out of the bowl, put it on the worktop. Make sure it's covered in flour. With your rolling pin, start rolling out the dough into a rectangular shape. You want it to be about 25 centimeters long and 12 centimeters wide. I used a ruler to check. Now using a knife, trim the edges and save the leftover pieces for later. Now get your pesto and a tablespoon and evenly spread the pesto all over the rectangle of dough, but leave about 2 centimeters clean along one long edge. Sprinkle the cheese all over the pesto, making sure to avoid the clean strip of dough. You need 4 tablespoons of cheese. I used grated cheese out of a bag, but you could also grate your own. Roll up the rectangle into a tight sausage. Start at the long edge that is covered in pesto and cheese. Leave the clean strip of dough poking out at the end. This will be the snail's head. Using a knife, cut the dough sausage into 12 thick slices to make snails. I started in the middle and did 2 halves first. Then I made quarters. Lastly, I cut each of these quarters into thirds. Now use the leftover pieces of dough from earlier to make eyes. You're going to need a small bit of milk. Roll the dough into tiny balls and dip into the milk, and then place on the snail. Stand the snails up on the baking tray. All 12 of them. Now using your cocktail sticks, you can place these in the middle of the snail to hold it together. I experimented and only put cocktail sticks in 8 of the snails. Now they're ready to go in the oven. Cook for 25 minutes, but keep a close eye on them. Ta-da! They're ready! As you can see, no 2 snails look the same. They are all unique. They're not perfect, but neither are we. Sometimes we just need a little help from a friend.